The Odyssey. The journey changes you. I recently watched The Odyssey, and I'll be honest, it made me want to learn more about the original story and what it's actually about. Because once I started looking into it, I realized that the story is thousands of years old, and somehow a lot of the lessons still feel incredibly relevant today, especially when it comes to performance, coaching, and life. At its core, the Odyssey follows Odysseus as he tries to return home after the Trojan War. And what should have been a journey home turns into years of setbacks. He gets lost, he loses people, he makes mistakes, he's tempted, he's tested, and over again, something gets between him and where he's trying to go. But throughout all of it, there's one thing that remains. He knows where he's trying to get to: home. And that's what stuck with me. Because knowing your destination doesn't guarantee a straight path to it. I think we forget that sometimes. We decide we want to get stronger, become a better coach, build a career, start something new. Whatever the goal is, we create a plan. And then we expect that plan to work exactly the way we imagined. But life doesn't really work like that. You get injured, someone tells you no, you prioritize change, the program stops working, something takes longer than you expected. And suddenly you start questioning whether you're even making progress. But one of the things I learned from the Odyssey is that the obstacles aren't necessarily separate from the journey. They're part of it. Think about training. Nobody trains seriously for years without setbacks. There are injuries, plateaus, bad sessions, programs that don't work. You get sick. There's times when life becomes more important than training. The people who continue making progress aren't necessarily the people who never get knocked off course. They're people who learn how to adjust. And I think that's an important lesson for coaches too. You can write the perfect program. Everything looks great on paper, on a whiteboard. We know that's true. Then your athlete walks in on Monday morning and tells you something hurts. Now what? You adapt. Because the program was never the purpose, the outcome was. The program was simply the route you thought would get you there. And sometimes the route has to change. That's what really stayed with me after watching The Odyssey and learning more about the story. You can know exactly where you're trying to go and still get lost along the way. You can make mistakes and recover. You can experience setbacks and keep moving. You can take longer than you expected and still arrive. And maybe the journey isn't about reaching the destination. Maybe it's also about who you become trying to get there. So whatever you're working toward right now, maybe stop asking whether everything is going according to plan and ask, do I still know where I'm trying to go? And am I willing to adapt while I get there? Because the path is probably going to change. You probably will too. And maybe that's part of the point. Know your destination, adapt to the journey, keep moving with intention, because purpose drives intent.